Yo, what is happening, everybody? So glad that you have decided to join us on YouTube today. We got a day packed with games, with a great message from one of my friends. But before we jump into all of that, we want to bring out the game first. So I'm going to have us jump over to me and Jake as we do this challenge. Students United, what is happening? We are back another game. My name is Nick, and this is my boy, Jake.
That's exactly
Jake, right. Nick, four-letter name. That's amazing.
Wow, it's amazing.
I just observed that right now. It's pretty cool.
So creative.
So glad that you are joining us today. We're here for a challenge. We do this every single week. A couple weeks ago, we had to do like the hot chicken nugget eating challenge.
I literally carried around a milk jug for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
my mouth hurt.
It was pretty spicy.
It was.
But I still took the dub on that. I'm gonna take the dub today, hopefully.
Maybe.
I mean, we'll see. The game today, as you can see here, is a balloon. And what we're gonna do in this game is whoever blows up the balloon and it blow up, literally like blow up the balloon.
Possibly break our nose.
Break our face, eardrums, this mic on my face. Whoever blows this thing up first is the winner.
Okay.
I kind of want to lose on purpose.
I know,
you
exactly.
Like,
purpose,
oh
no. Yeah, we have to actually try.
Exactly. How do we know that he's not trying to lose on purpose?
Exactly.
Who came up with this game? All right. Here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Oh man, I don't want to do this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. If you're at home and you have a balloon next to you, join us. All right.
know.
In 3,
I'm so nervous.
2, 1.
I don't want to pass out.
You getting lightheaded yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Super lightheaded. Oh, this sucks. Oh, it's right there.
I'm already getting lightheaded. I don't want to die, but I gotta win.
This next one is it.
What?
Do you want to just do this together? Do you want to do it together, man?
I'm gonna.
Tell me
I'm
when
gonna
it.
just win. That's all I'm gonna do.
The next one is it. You ready? Is it there?
I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm nervous.
This is it. This is going to be it. Look at this right now. Can I just pop it? Ah, my ears.
Ah, I'm so nervous.
It's right there. I'm afraid it's gonna poke my eye out. This thing won't pop.
I know, it's annoying. She Yasmin just bought the ones that'll never pop.
Can we just pop it?
I know, like, oh no.
Can we just like, oh my gosh.
There we go. Let's go. I didn't pop it, I promise.
You won that fair.
Y'all, so much anxiety. I haven't had that. Like, my Apple Watch is asking me to breathe right now.
My heart rate. You got your heart rate on there?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Hey, well, if you were playing at home, you probably woke up your sisters and your cat.
That's definitely true.
Go apologize to him right now. Thank you so much for joining us in Students United for our game. And we're going to go to the next thing now. Thanks.
After high school, we go from being in a highly structured environment to being in a highly unstructured environment in the matter of about a day. As if moving the tassel from one side to the other magically turns you into an adult, and you know exactly what you want to do with your life and all of the steps that it will take to get there. But that's a misconception, isn't it? It's similar to the misconception in a life of faith. As if moving the tassel of faith from not believing to believing magically turns you into a perfect person, and you know everything there is to know about God, and you are completely changed. Well, just as a life of faith is a process of becoming more like Jesus, life after high school is also a process of becoming an adult. It's a journey to a life of meaning and significance. So the answer to the question, what happens after high school, is very direct and it's very simple, and I'm sure that you've heard it before. It's very practical. We go to college, we might go to work, we might go into the mission field, we might take a year off and just kind of lay at the beach, right? Our parents probably hope that we don't do that. We might even go into the armed forces. It's all about what we do after high school. But a different answer to that question, I think a deeper answer to that question, depends on whether you will continue to operate with the mindset of a high schooler or whether you're ready to transition into the mindset of a young adult. You see, a high schooler is someone whose life is regulated by outside forces, right? You have your family, and you've got your coaches and your teachers and even your friends to some degree. You have people telling you where to go and what to be. You have a schedule that you have to be on. You have a time to wake up, a time to log in through Zoom. You even have a schedule throughout all of high school. You have to do these exact classes or else you will not graduate. And probably you have a dinner time and you have somebody that's even making all of your doctor's appointments. So the mindset of a high schooler is somebody that is reactionary, someone that is reacting to what is set in front of them. Now, you're probably learning about what you care about and the things that you like and dislike. And hopefully, as a high schooler, you're able to express that stuff. I know that if you are part of one of the growth groups with Students United, that is a wonderful place to express who you are becoming. But being an adult is very, very different, because you are completely responsible for every decision and every action for your whole entire life. And I know that as a high schooler right now, that probably sounds amazing. But I think if you just take a second and you really think about the ramifications of all of those very adult decisions that we all have to make, it can be a little bit overwhelming. But God has given us a step in between being a high schooler and being an adult, and that is being a young adult. Now, a young adult is someone who listens to trusted mentors, but takes the initiative to do things on his or her own. And the cool thing about being a young adult and that step that God has given us is that you can develop the mindset of a young adult as early as 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. You don't have to wait until you're a senior to develop that young adult mindset. So I don't want you, 9th graders, 10th graders, I don't want you to tune out, because I have got 3 very practical ideas for how all of you can develop an after high school mindset of a young adult without having all of that stress and that pressure of feeling like you have to have it all figured out. You ready? All right, here we go. The first one is this. Your dreams and your ambitions should be a direction, not a destination. Now, studies show that you will change your career up to 5 times in your adult life. 5 times. Now, that doesn't mean that you are going to have a great career track and you're going to move up in a company. That means that you're going to be going from being like a professional chef to being an EMT driver to be, I don't know, a doctor. It means that you can take small steps and make small choices in a direction rather than having to figure this all out when you're 18 and declare a major. And then for the rest of your life, you have to do that one thing. Because if your dreams and your ambitions are a direction, then small steps are okay. But if your dreams and your ambitions are a destination, what happens when you reach that dream and you're like 25? Then what do? That's kind of a crisis, because what do you do with your life after that? I mean, you've got a long life ahead of you. What if you face some setbacks when you're trying to reach that destination of your dream and you realize, I might not be able to achieve that dream? Then what? Then that is another crisis, because that's just emotional bankruptcy. I mean, where was God in all of that, right? And that is something that actually happened to me when I was about 19 or 20 years old, because my dream was a destination. When I was graduating from high school, I had a dream of being an actress in the theater. Now, I know a lot of people have a dream of being an actress, but I actually had been acting since I was very young, doing some commercials and some little bits of film and a lot of theater, because theater was my favorite. I love being with a live audience. I love that interaction. I love being emotionally present with other people. I love the logic of memorizing all of those scripts and trying to figure out how we were all going to interact, me and all of my fellow thespians. And I thought, perhaps, if I played a character well enough, I'd be able to tell a story, and maybe I would be able to encourage somebody or maybe get them to change their mind. So I auditioned for the USC School of Theater, and I got in, which is amazing. So I moved to LA. Of course, that's the best place to be when you're an actress. And I started living my dream. But what happened very shortly after I started that education was my moral compass on the inside of me started to hurt. It became very uncomfortable with some of the parts that I was being asked to play and some of the things that I was being asked to do. And eventually, it caused so much pain that I decided to walk away from that dream, that destination, because I realized once I got there that it really wasn't what I thought it would be. And so I had a pretty major crisis, and I didn't really know what to do because my whole entire life up to that point had been the direction of being an actress, of that profession. So that leads me to my second very practical idea for developing that young adult mindset, and that's this. If you don't know what you want to do, work on who you are. If you don't know what you want to do with your life, if you don't know you don't even know what a dream you have or what profession you want to be or what major you want to declare, start working on you. Work on your integrity. Work on your character. Work on serving the people around you. Work on being a great friend or being a really good brother or sister. Because here's what I know to be true. Godly ambitions come from godly character. And the last thing that we need is a bunch of influencers. We need real leaders, leaders that are true encouragers, not people who are going to flatter for personal gain. And if you have good character, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what your job is. It doesn't matter if you're taking a bunch of classes that you don't even like, or even if you're working with a bunch of people that you don't particularly care for too much. You are going to have a life of significance. God will pay attention. Now, remember when I was telling you that I kind of reached that point where my dream was a destination? I got to that destination and I didn't want to be there anymore. Well, the only thing I did know was that my moral compass was very strong. And so I figured, you know what? I need to check that out. And the person that was directing that moral compass was Jesus. And so I decided to be an intern at a local church. And my parents thought I was crazy, and all my friends thought I was crazy. But ultimately, what I learned during that internship was that I could use those same gifts that God had graciously given me and those same skills in a different profession. I learned that I love the Bible. And so I could use that logic to learn scripture instead of scripts. And it ultimately led me to go to a lot of years of seminary so that I could get my PhD and be on a dig field right in the middle of biblical history, digging all that stuff up from the dirt because I love it. I love the stories that it tells. And then after that, when I became a college professor and then ultimately the director of the college here, what I realized was that I love being emotionally present with my students. That is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. And perhaps one day I will be able to be standing here telling a story that might encourage somebody or might get somebody to change their mind. So if you don't know what you want to do, work on who you are. Now, my final point is this, final practical idea for developing that after high school mindset, right? You need to get really clear about what you believe and who you trust. Because truth and trust They go hand in hand, don't they? If I don't believe you, how can I trust you? More high schoolers lose their way with Jesus when they become young adults than at any other time in their lives. And the reason is this: because the faith that you have with your family, the faith that you have in high school, may not be the same faith that you have as a young adult. You have to decide that for yourself, because ultimately your relationship with God is like any other relationship. You have to believe him in order to trust him for your direction for your life. And if you don't believe him, you're not going to be able to trust him. And that really means that you've got to get your questions answered. Even the hard ones, even the ones that you might be a little embarrassed to ask, like, is the Bible true? Did Jesus really die? And did he really raise up again? It seems a little far-fetched. These are the questions that you have to get answered for yourself. And you need to have a group of people around you that are going to champion you as you get those questions answered. I want you to find some mentors, some people that are a few steps just down the road, and invite them into who you are becoming. Invite them into your young adult journey. Allow them permission to tell you where you need to improve, and allow them to just shower you with praise when you do a great job, right? Because we all love when people celebrate us, right? I know I do. I love it when people say, "Yay, you did such a good job." Now, ultimately, as the college director here at EastLake, I think that the very best way for you to have clarity on what you believe and who you can trust is to pursue a quality education with a group of people who are for you as an individual, where you're not just a number. I ultimately want anybody who wants to be known and loved and get a great education. I want you to be with me, of course. But the most important thing that I want is for you to get your questions answered. And so that's why we created this series. And so for the next few weeks, we're going to be giving you lots of opportunity to get those questions answered. And so I want you to think about the things that I've just posed to you about transitioning from a high school mindset into that young adult mindset as we head into our time of worship.
When night has fallen, when fear is coming, still you're calling me. When faith is lost and my hope exhausted, you will be my strength. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. Yeah, I've decided I'm not giving up, 'cause you won't give up on me, no, you won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. when my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up, 'cause you won't give up on me. No, you won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. Hey, I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out, breaking out. Hey, your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. Feel it breaking out like an echo, echo in my soul. Echo in my soul.
So good. Thank you so much for joining us today, visiting our YouTube channel. Before you leave though, make sure that you check out all the different videos. We've got videos for every question that you could have. So don't leave until you visit everything on our channel. Also, if you are in middle school, we are relaunching our midweek on March 10th here at the Chula Vista campus. So March 10th, 6 p.m., we'll be meeting in the lower patio. So we want you to invite all your middle school friends because it's going to be a showdown. So we can't wait to be with you guys.